Welcome back to Game, Set, Bet. I'm Sarah Pararia, joined by my lovely co-host, Crina Mustafa, and we have a lot to talk about. Big first round in Wimbledon. We have seen a lot of heavy hitters out with Stan Wawrinka, Hadid Maya, Marino, the Canadian, Trevisan, Kanepi. Berrettini came out because he had COVID. It's been insane. I feel like we lost, half the legitimate potential, semifinalists almost.
Yeah, it's weird because going into Wimbledon, we already had such a limited supply of players in the first place. So now with all these first round upsets, plus Matteo Berrettini, which was kind of the big hitter, he joins Marin Cilic, who are both sick and they've both withdrawn. And so it's kind of weird to think about that. Maybe some of the heavy favorites now have an even clearer path than they did before.
Yeah, I feel like especially for the women with how well Iga's been this past year. I almost think it's really tough for some of those underdogs now because all of these, ladies have now exited the tournament in the first round. So a little bit upset with that as well as, like you said, with Matteo. He was my dark horse. He was the second favorite after Djokovic. So it's I'm a little upset. But maybe we will see, some young stars, advancing to quarters, semis where we didn't think they'd be able to go to, but the paths are kind of open for them now.
Yeah, I guess it's now or never.
Yeah, exactly. So let's dive right into it. ATP, let's talk about Carlitos. Yesterday's, I'm a little bit speechless.
I can feel the stress from all the way over here.
5 sets. I didn't want him to start this tournament in 5. Obviously, he's going to be much more exhausted, and he had to fight. He really had to fight to get that win. What do you think of, his first match?
Yeah, I mean, playing against Struff is obviously a very hard matchup in the first place. Struff is a very, very talented player who is kind of upset. I know Shapovalov has been a player who has played against him many, many times, and I'm sure he's very unhappy about that because it's always a tough opponent. So it's nice to see Carlitos get through to the other side, but I agree, it's a 5-setter is not what you want to see in the first round. And then in his next matchup now, he's heavily favored at -300. But I was doing a little research on his opponent, Griekspoor. He went defeated Fognini in 4 sets. He upset Davidovich Fokina at Roland Garros in the very first round of the tournament. So this one I feel like could go 5 sets again. And Carlitos is young, so he could do another 5-setter. He's not going to be tired or anything like that. But that's a much better bet at +430 for Carlitos to win in 5 sets.
Yeah, so we're going to take Carlitos to win in 5 sets at +430. And you know what? I'm hoping he does it in 3. Next up, we have the favorite, Djokovic, taking on Kokkinakis. Super favorite. No surprise there.
Favorite at -4,000 on FanDuel.
Yeah, no, this one was tough, but we have Djokovic to win in 4 at +280. We could see him, get taken out a couple of sets. So, I mean, I think this bet has good value. That being said, Djokovic is superior on grass, and it is very tough for his opponents. I mean, it would really take a lot, I think, to grab a set from him.
I think the second he saw Matteo Berrettini pull out, his confidence probably just went even higher because he did face Berrettini in the final last year, so now he's like, oh, you know
exactly,
what? I'm
right?
good now. So yeah, Kokkinakis is a very talented player as well. He's a little bit older, but so is Djokovic. But yeah, I think taking Djokovic to win in 4 because Djokovic is very good on grass, but he's not a superhuman. So I think he might drop a set here and there, and so I think +280 is a good value bet.
And finally, we have Andy Murray versus Isner, which we thought this was a really interesting matchup because, I mean, great matchup. You got, the home veteran taking on Isner, who's, I think, 10th right now overall. Really great player. And the odd makers had Murray
heavily
really
favored.
Yeah, and we were both really surprised by that. Murray, he's at home. He does have the home advantage, but is he the better tennis player right now at his age?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question for sure. Obviously, we've seen Murray kind of make his return to the court. He had another injury a couple weeks ago, so I'm interested to see where his health is at. And then John Isner coming off of a 5-setter in his first round, so I'm sure that's why he isn't as favored as Andy Murray is. But at the same time, I'm actually kind of stuck on who to go with here. So I think both of us are kind of safe in saying this is probably going to go the distance at 5 sets at +275 because these two are two very experienced players. They're very experienced with playing long matches at Wimbledon, especially John Isner, who said he was actually avoiding to play on court 18 because that was where he played the longest match ever. It was like 12 hours long. And so, but he's through, and this will be a very exciting matchup for sure. But I honestly don't know who will come out of it.
I have no clue, but I think this is my favorite match of tomorrow right now. So far, there's a lot still to be determined. But let's jump into the WTA. We have the Romanian Begu, who I know Crina is dying to talk about, who advanced, and we weren't really sure if she was going to. And now she's going to take on Cocciaretto. And how happy are you to see your Romanians go into the next round?
Yeah, there are 7 Romanians to start Wimbledon. I think it's the numbers kind of starting to trickle down, but we had Halep go through today. Ruse did fall to Coco Gauff, but you know, it's exciting to have another Romanian go through. Obviously, like, my Romanian pride is all over the place, and that's why we're also going to be very confident that she can get through in straight sets. I think she's one of the stronger Romanians here, so I'm very confident that she could make it through to the next round.
Yeah, listen, I'm backing you. This is your domain. And we also have Raducanu, who's going to be back in action against Garcia. She won at home. That was her first Wimbledon win.
Yeah.
And you could see how happy she was. You know, she was just overjoyed. And you could tell it meant a lot to her to win in front of her home fans. So she's going to go and take on Garcia. I'm a little bit unsure with this one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Garcia just beat Andreescu and Bad Homburg to win the title. So she's actually maybe going to be a steal on grass as well. I don't know how confident I am in Emma Raducanu to overcome Garcia, because Garcia has a lot more experience than she does. So I will say this is probably going to go 3 sets at plus 150. Obviously, Emma's at home. Garcia isn't, so that definitely plays a factor, but
experience does too.
Yes, very true.
So I just stay away from the winner in this one. It has to be the 3 sets. And finally, we have Kerber taking on Linette. Kerber was also pretty heavily favored when we were looking at this matchup. Why do you think that is?
Well, she just won another tournament on grass coming into Wimbledon, which is nice to see because she's kind of on the up and coming again, back on tour. She's definitely more experienced for sure. She's a former Wimbledon champ, and so I think she's probably in better form right now than Linette, but Linette is a dangerous opponent. I don't think anybody should be betting against her by any means. This is why we're also betting this one to go 3 sets, in case you want to see a common theme here. I think their games probably match up against each other really well, so this is going to be a really tough and close one.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show you after the first round how many players were taken out that we didn't expect. It's so hard to pick a winner in these, so we're trying to find some good value and, you know, figure out how many sets are going to be versus a winner, because honestly, it's the first round and I'm already confused. So actually later today, Serena is up. So we definitely got to go keep up with that. But we will be back tomorrow. And I'm not sure what to expect, but we're definitely excited. And we hope that it's going to be some more crazy tennis to watch.